y'all, I'm Brenda with Blessings and Bread, and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm baking cookies, and I'm making a recipe today that is flourless. It has absolutely no flour in it. So this recipe really could be truly a gluten-free recipe, but if you're having to make gluten-free because of allergies, you need to do your due diligence with all the ingredients in this recipe. I just know it has no flour, and I've done a little research. I don't think peanut butter has any, and it has M&Ms. It probably doesn't have any. So I think this is probably a gluten-free recipe, but I challenge you to make sure that all the ingredients you use are gluten-free if you are allergic. But come along with me while I make this surprising cookie that has no flour in it. I'm going to be making my cookies today my stand mixer, but these cookies can easily be made in with a handheld mixer as well. I'm going to start by putting half a cup of butter in with a whole cup of peanut butter. And I'm going to blend those together or mix those together in my mixer. To make my peanut butter come out easier out of my cup, I had sprayed my cup with baking spray before I measured my peanut butter. And I'm just going to tell you, I've got a fly in my kitchen today, and I've been trying to catch him and kill him, but I haven't been able to. So hopefully we will keep the fly away. I've kept everything covered till the last minute. So if we see a fly, I'm sorry. And now we're going to start with the peanut butter and the butter, and I'm just going to mix those together about 30 seconds. Make sure they're mixed thoroughly though. Once the butter and the butter and the peanut butter are mixed together, I'm now going to add the sugars. And this recipe calls for 1.5 cups of brown sugar and a half a cup of granulated sugar. So there goes our brown sugar, and then a half a cup of white or granulated sugar. And we're going to combine those. Oh, also it says to go ahead and put in your leavening agents, and I'm using 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And we're going to combine all of that. We really only have to beat that or stir that until it's combined. Once your peanut butter and sugars are combined, now we're going to add the eggs. And this recipe calls for 3 large eggs. So I'm just going to be able to dump those all in at one time. This is really not a difficult recipe at all. Now we're going to add the vanilla, and it calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. The next thing we're going to do is add oats, and be sure they're using the quick 1-minute oats. But it's 4 cups. And we're just going to pour all those in, and then, you know what, I need to lower this so it'll make that easier. And just combine those together. And the final ingredient I'm going to put in is 1.5 cups of chocolate candies, or I'm just going to say M&Ms. But you don't have to have M&Ms, but chocolate coated candies. And mix those till they're combined. You probably could stir this by hand, or should, but it works in the mixer. So, all right, those cookies are ready to bake. These cookies are called oatmeal jumbos because it calls for a 1/4 cup scoop for the cookies. So and you can make them that big, but you can also make them just as a regular size cookie. But I'm gonna make some jumbo ones to show you. And I'm trying to put them at least about 3 inches to 4 inches apart on this cookie sheet. We are gonna bake them at 350 degrees for about, the recipe says 15, but I think today I'm gonna try taking these out at 13. I baked them to 15 last time and they got a little brown, and I'm gonna see what they are like after 13 today. But so I'm not getting to bake very many at a time, but if you make this size cookie, it's not gonna make just lots of cookies, but I'm probably gonna make the rest of these with my tablespoon cookie dip scoop. But when you do this size, we'll only bake them for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna put these in for 13, and then we'll be back when these cookies are all baked, and we'll be back and I'll show you what a great cookie that this makes with absolutely no flour. Well, my cookies are done. They're all out of the oven. And as you can see, this is why they call them jumbo oatmeal cookies. This oatmeal cookie is huge. It's about the combination, I think, of 3 cookies combined. I don't really make the jumbo very often for us, but I did today just to show you. They do make a great large cookie, but you can also make them small. I made the big cookies I baked for 13 minutes, and the small cookies baked for 10. Another thing about these cookies is the recipe also calls for 3/4 cup of chopped nuts. And I didn't mention that earlier because I don't ever put the nuts in there. Rod prefers cookies without nuts, so I just leave those out. But you could definitely add pecans, peanuts, walnuts chopped in here, and give it just even another addition to the cookie. I would probably like those in there. I've never tried it though. Again, you can make these gluten-free. Just make sure that all the ingredients that you add don't have gluten in them. I believe most of them don't, but just double check and make sure there is no flour in these. The body of these come basically from the oatmeal, and they are nice and chewy. And I'm gonna break into one of the small ones because I don't need to eat a big one. This cookie is really surprising. If I didn't tell you there wasn't flour in it, you probably wouldn't know. It's very delicious. It's got a peanut butter flavor and nothing. Everybody loves peanut butter and chocolate, or almost everybody loves peanut butter and chocolate with M&Ms. And then you get that great chewy oat texture to it. This is definitely a recipe. It makes a really large amount. In fact, I made these for a function that we're going to have at church next week. So what I plan to do is freeze these today, and I'm going to take a minute and just show you how to freeze these cookies so that you can make them ahead and have them for later. So let's look at the proper way to freeze these for up to 3 months. You need to make sure you have an airtight container to freeze these in, although I definitely could freeze these on a cookie sheet and then wrap them in foil, but I'm using my Tupperware container, and hopefully it's gonna hold all of them. But I've already started and I made 2 layers, and I'm just making sure between each layer that I put a piece of wax paper. I just wanna lay that in there, And then I'm going to add those cookies on top. So you don't want any of the cookies layered up. In fact, some of them on that one need to go to this row. And this recipe, actually, I was counting. It makes a good it made a good 4 dozen cookies. And I made of the small cookies. And then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. I had about 9 or 10 of the large cookies. So this is a big recipe and it makes a lot of cookies. Hopefully when I get this on, my lid is still going to close. I'm not going to freeze the big ones. I'm gonna leave these out and Rod and I can have those. And then I'm gonna finish this off by wadding up some to kind of fill in any air pockets between that and the top. Give it a good barrier between the freezer and the air, that cold air in the freezer and the cookies. I just am wadding that up and then laying it on top. And then I'm going to just add the lid. And I'm counting on this being airtight Tupperware. And then I'm going to do the Tupperware burp. And hopefully that's airtight. Now, if I really was, I'm only going to have these in there for a few days, so I'm not too worried about freezer burn. But if I was really going to leave this in longer, I would probably also wrap it with some aluminum foil and make sure that they didn't get freezer burnt. I think these are going to be fine. I would like to thank you for coming along with me today while I made these flourless cookies. Said they're called oatmeal jumbos because they do make this amazing huge cookie if that's what you want. And I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. I hope you'll try it. And I will see you the next time I'm in my kitchen, on my porch, or in my garden.